Cycling network, and oh, the weather is getting better in Chicago. It is so nice. I'm wearing my cowboy hat, and I invited my friend here, and he showed up in his hat too. I'm like, wow, I think he read my mind or something. I was like, are you kidding me? So anyway, I got to wear my hat because I'm from Texas. That's what I tell everybody. But you guys are I'm from. I'm from Jamaica, but I spent a very long time in Texas, so I have many exes in Texas, as they say. But we're going to keep it going.
About that. You talk about Miami a lot, but not too much about
because
Texas.
It's too many exes in Texas. So don't want to get in trouble. Yeah. So it is. Well, you guys, thanks everybody for have been subscribing to the channel, supporting me, showing up. Little people are very excited to come out and share their story. And trust me, it doesn't matter what your story is, there's something special about. And I think Jeff is going to be one of those persons that I think going to be like, wow, I didn't know he did all these cool things. But he's one of those guys that's in the network. He's on the North Shore. And just like him, we're both been inducted in the Hall of Fame of North Shore Dads. So we're on the north side. It's an honor, okay? It is so amazing that if you guys have ever ridden on St. John's, there's a little climb called the North Shore Dad Sprint. I made that because it's like one of the only hills on this side of town. It's not even a real hill, but it's just funny, right?
That's a segment?
It's a segment. It's job. It's on St. John's. It's for us, okay? Because we're the north side. But yeah, guys, again, it's thanks to everybody, man. We have some really, really amazing people in the network that keeps it going. And, we should not be shy when there's people on the road, wave, say hi. There's amazing groups out there. I've featured some of the people from the different groups already. My buddy right here, which you'll get to know him later on, I see this guy, and when it's warm, we see each other about like 5-4 times for the week because we're always back together early morning. If it's too cold, I'm out. He knows. But
used to be you were out all winter, right?
Yeah, but I've done. I've paid the piper, and as I said before, God loved me so much that He invented Zwift, and that's what I do. I stay in the basement and I do my thing. Anyway, without further ado, guys, Mr. Clarkin, introduce yourself. Let us know who you are, and we're gonna go from there.
All right, thanks. I'm Jeff Clarkin. I've been. I guess kind of evolution to getting into cycling. I grew up doing sports. It was different when I was a kid, and maybe when you were a kid, it was like you would play whatever sport. In the fall it was football, winter was basketball. Spring and summer baseball, and ice hockey too. We did everything, and it was more like sandlot stuff than organized sports. But then you get a little older and start doing organized sports. So I did that, growing up. Rode my bike a lot. I grew up my family's from Iowa, but we moved here when I was 4. I'm 64 now. So in 61,
you're a young stud. Wow.
Yeah. But I grew up in Wheaton. Right behind us is the Prairie Path, which is well-known bike path in the Chicago area. It connects in with the Fox River Trail, but it was just retired as a railroad, before I moved in, and then they like mid to late 60s they converted it into one of the first rails to trails bike paths in the country. So we rode on that all the time. So we're just biking for fun. Never did any competitive. I didn't really know competitive cycling existed. You'd hear about Team 7-Eleven, but I wasn't tuned in with that. So I guess like through high school and in college, when I went to college, I played pickup basketball and did some distance running.
Where you went to college?
I went to U of I. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I also, speaking about sports, I did swim team in the summertime when I was a kid too. So I'm really, really grateful I did that, because I learned to swim well enough when I got older. I guess in college and after college, I swam for exercise, and then with having a running background, I did some distance running. I guess I did the Chicago Marathon once, when I was
look,
25. So
I didn't even know that. What was your time? Like 2 hours?
Oh, yeah, right. I think I did. I remember it was like 3:43 somewhere around there.
That's sub 4, man. And if you
Yeah,
listen,
yeah.
breaking sub 4 for a marathon, which by the way is a 9:09 average pace, because I used to be a pacer, so I remember all the numbers.
Yeah,
To break 4 hours in a marathon, it's the holy grail. A lot of people don't even break 4 hours. So if you're at a 3:40, that's pretty solid.
Yeah, I was really happy. I didn't have to walk and
that was
trained pretty well.
One and done.
One and done. Yeah, yeah. I kept distance running kind of off and on, but eventually my back, I had kind of a lower back issue that just kept getting re-injured and because I had a swimming background too, I did triathlons. I really enjoyed triathlons. Were a gas, and I really enjoyed that. So got into biking that way a little bit.
I didn't know you did triathlon. So this was like after college or more kind of in your adult life?
More like in my 30s.
30s.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. That I got into triathlon.
So you did triathlon. So which was your favorite? Swimming, biking, or running?
Biking. Yeah, I definitely loved the biking part of it. So it was a way to compete in biking. Kind of get into it.
So if you've been competing triathlons since in your 30s, you've been biking for a long time. I didn't realize you've been in cycling for so long.
Yeah.
Like when did you make the switch to the straight, more or less cycling?
Yeah, it was kind of like I said, I did distance running. I had a friend that I trained with all the time, and we did a lot of 5Ks and 10Ks and one half marathon, and the half marathon just kind of put me. It was like I had trouble walking after that, so it was like I got to find something else. So let's see. So anyway, I mean, backing up, I moved to the North Shore to Wilmette in 2001, and after I got there, my daughter was swimming at the YWCA. I want to put a plug for the YW. Fantastic swimming program there. Great organization.
Great.
They support women who have been victims of domestic abuse, and they promote swimming for low income children and everything. So it's a great organization. So anyway, my daughter was swimming there, and then they started a master swim program, and a bunch of swim parents started swimming together, and that was kind of I met a lot of people that were doing triathlons and were bikers too, and that was kind of my introduction into this crazy biking community in the Chicago area. So
I see. No, it makes sense, because for anybody who we okay, so we ride together at Cortado, okay, and we have sprint points, and you'll be like giving it your all, and here comes this guy right next to you. So I nickname him Sneaky Jeff, because because you will think you're holding like 39 miles an hour, and then you always see his wheel come right next to yours, specifically on the cozy sprint or the bus stop sprint for people at Dublin R. So now it makes sense. So you have this
you always just slow down enough to give me a little hope, and then
well, we have to push each other, but now it explains that you had a running background and a swimming background, because I didn't know this about you. I had no idea. I thought maybe you just picked up biking, I don't know, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. I have no idea.
Yeah.
So now it makes sense. And I've even noticed that and some of the, I think for I don't know if you noticed, but for Cortado, you have the fastest time on the cozy sprint. Did you know that?
That could be the magic Garmin. People gave me a hard time. I had this old Garmin. Everybody was upgrading their Garmins because the batteries would wear out on them, and I found on a website where you could buy a replacement battery, and they had a kit to take it apart. So the accuracy in the old one. So it was a little inflated. So,
But still,
there's an asterisk.
yeah, the numbers don't like. Hey, remember we said Cortado. Never let the truth with a good
Can you
story.
edit out that part? Just go back to the
Okay.
part.
Okay, edited. Yeah. So you ride with Cortado. How did you get into Cortado?
So it was through this group of swim parents. There was like some of the dads had like a small club called Wide Load.
I've heard of Wilo, yes.
Yeah. So Wide Load was a group. Drew Henke and Doug Holt, Jane Holt, swam. Drew's wife Kathy swam with the Masters group, and they had a group, and then some people like Dave Lipinski started riding with them, and he realized they weren't riding very much anymore.
And he's
so
like, I'm out.
So that was kind of, I think Dave was kind of the impetus behind Cortado, and he kind of a splinter group off of that.
What year was it was like in the?
That was like 2017, 2018.
Okay, because that was about the time when the bike club, what's called again, that was closing, and I think that's when like Sam and Dave started.
Yeah.
From okay, but we're gonna save a story for so that Dave can come and tell the story about the whole history behind Cortado. So Cortado was we ride with 5:45 almost every day after the week. Well, from Monday to Friday, 5:45 a.m. You get the bike, come home by 7 o'clock. You're back home or 7:30. It's pretty awesome. We have different days. We do different things and chill days, which are never chill days because we get triggered so easily. But at least Friday is a nice day for coming out. This we go like at 8.
At least on the way up.
At least on the way up. And at least, but then from Lake Cook back down into Winnetka, Glencoe, that's where. But other than that, and then we stop and have coffee, and it's fantastic. So Cortado, that's how you met Dave and all those guys. I had no idea.
Yeah. I kind of got a slow start because I had like in February of 2018 I had a heart attack, and then so that derailed me for a little while, and then I thought, I have to see how it goes, and started riding and started feeling better, and so later in 2018 is when I
really got into the thing.
Yeah.
Which even by then I wasn't even cycling as yet.
Sorry?
I wasn't cycling in 2018.
Right.
I was still in the middle of 2018 when I moved to Chicago.
Yeah. And you started with EBC, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually started with Precision Sport first, but they were a triathlon group, and I love the running and biking part. I ended up with my wife's small tri bike was way too small, and every day I go to that group like 2 times a week or so. By the time we get to the light at Lake down Baha'i, I got dropped. Like a clockwork.
Yeah, not anymore.
No, like a clockwork. And I was like, you know what? And I stopped. I'm like, just moved here. I had to get the lab up and running. So I really was focusing on getting all the stuff. So I kind of I was trying to run more with Evanston Run Club, but then time was just too much, and I was just And then finally, when I got the lab up and running, I'm like, okay, I think I can afford a bike now, and I tried to hunt a bike down, and then that's when I went to look up, and I found EBC.
Mm-hmm.
And then from EBC, I messaged Dave Lipinski on Facebook. Never responded to me because I saw the group, because Andrew Van Til told me to message Dave.
Yeah.
But then Dave never responded to me. And then so one day, Andrew was let's come with me, let's show up. And I show up, I'm like, hey Dave, what, they don't like me or something? I waited, that's why. And he was like, no, actually never check his Facebook. So then after that, we kind of get to know each other. Then here we are, what 4 or 5 years later, we're still biking together. So that's the story how I got into Cortado. But I mean, I don't know if you want to touch on your you said you had a heart attack. How is everything going with that? Because I mean,
I recovered completely from that. Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. And I trust me, you recover, because come on bike with him and you will be like, this guy is next level. Yeah. Trust me. We do breakaway groups. He's with us every single time we come and bike. So that's pretty good. So you've been, from swimming, triathlon, basketball. I didn't know all these different things. So what are some of the the rides that you've actually done? Because I know guys are going to the Arbor Hilly and some other rides. What are some of the rides that you've done in town? And do you race crits or ever race crits or road or anything like that?
Yeah, I did. I mean, when I first started riding, one of the guys at the Masters group, he got me hooked up with some other people, and he was doing like time trials. So we started doing time trials. It was I was interested in competing, but a little nervous about doing crits and everything. So started doing time trials with him, which is kind of fun.
Where was this?
There's like the one I liked the best was up in Pleasant Prairie.
Mm-hmm.
Up there they have the Bong Rec area, so it's like a 12+ mile loop. So
okay.
So they have like the single bong, which is 1 lap, and then the bong and a half midsummer is and then and then the double bong.
I hear the word bong and I'm thinking something else. I'm Jamaican, so I hear bong and I'm like, what?
yeah, it's funny.
Okay.
So that was the best one. There's a couple more. There's a couple of team ones too. If you got people that you're interested in training with, are a lot of fun. My buddy and I did the 2-man. I don't even know if they do those anymore.
I was just about to ask it. Do they still have those things around, or it's all?
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of stopped doing triathlons.
Yeah, I hope the bong is still around.
Yeah. Yeah, I got hit by a car on my bike in like 2012 and messed up my back a little bit, and so triathlon bike is
not. Wow,
not too appealing anymore.
So yeah, the man getting hit by a car always suck, man, and we have to be careful. But again, we still hear all these stories about people that used to be runners or swimmers, and then they transition to biking, and then you're like killing the bike now. And I mean, you say you're 64 and doing so amazing on the bike. That is impressive. So Herb, you've done Harbor Hilly before, right?
Yeah, a couple times. Yeah, yeah, that's a challenging one. Yeah.
Can you tell people what Harbor Hilly is, because it sounds horrible. So
yeah, it's you haven't.
I've never done it.
Yeah. It's just west of Madison, a very very hilly area. It starts from the town of Mount Horeb and then ends on Blue Mountain State Park. But they have 100K, 150K, and a 200K option. The 200K is 10,000 feet plus a climbing. And reminder to myself and to anybody else who does it, make sure you have the right gearing for it. Because I did it last year, and I was too lazy to swap out my cassette, and
that was no fun.
I was doing the Postman. The Postman.
No,
it's when you got a zigzag on the road to get up the hill.
So you had like 300K then?
Yeah.
So what setup were you using though? What was your gearing?
Oh, I don't remember the numbers on it.
Yeah, because I go to Elizabeth and we do like a 60K, like a 100K, which is about 62 miles or so, and I would climb those in my 5428. And mess with my friends. I was like 5,000 feet of elevation.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm just messing with my friends anyway. That's why I do it. But for Harbor Hilly, I'd probably do run like a 50-34 with like a 11-32 maybe. And that should be more than enough. Because I've camped in Blue Mountain, and I know that climb up to the tower. That
was my mistake, because I had done Blue Mountain before, just on a ride. We were going out, leisurely ride. And,
right.
And the gearing I had was fine. And then when I did it with Horribly Hilly, after 100+ miles and then 10,000 feet of climbing, it feels steeper. Yeah.
Plus, when you go on a leisure ride, you probably stop and have coffee and take your time.
Yeah.
But when you're doing a ride, you're like, I'm against the clock. So the mentality is
different. Horribly Hilly is not a race. It's
just a ride. You do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're all competitive.
Of course.
So
the question that I ask people, when did they invented bike racing? Once they made a second bike. That's it.
Oh yeah.
Once there's a second bike,
absolutely,
it's gonna be a race. Okay, no matter what people say, because people on comms, people on PRs, people on different things. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. So,
Well, and the bikes were invented before the internal combustion engine, so that was like the fastest thing.
back then,
Yeah.
It's
a
pretty.
huge sport.
And now we're going back to bikes with engines now, because I always make my friend always make fun. I'm like, man, if I get too old enough and I can't ride and keep up, I'm gonna get an e-bike. You can judge what you want. There's like some really nice e-bikes out there now. Like Trek makes some really nice e-bikes. Look like a road bike, but you can say, hey, I'm on my e-bike. But the good thing is, I'm with my friends. I'm hanging out.
Yeah,
That's the whole point, right? You can keep up and no complaints. You can give people lead outs. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Can't be that. So, how many bikes do you have?
I have I have my road bike, which is a Roubaix, and I have my old road bike, that Trek 5000. I love that bike. That was faster than my current one, but the current one's more comfortable.
Is it faster, or is it because you were younger?
No, it's faster. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But the other one's just more comfortable setup. So.
I mean, it's a pretty nice bike you have. That Roubaix. It's nice.
And I have
DI2 and everything.
And I have I just got a gravel bike that I've only ridden a couple times. Obed. So,
which you probably only rode a couple times, because just like you, I was told to get a gravel bike, and I rode it one time, and that was like 2 years ago. The first of the year when we rode up with me, you, and Dave, and I met you guys in the back. Remember that we went on the bike path?
Yeah.
That was the only time I ever ridden that bike on gravel. Never again.
Yeah.
So it's not even here. I took it to my in-laws' house. I'm like, I'm not using it, so I took it out.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I did my first gravel event last year, the one that you've done before, the Turkey Burner.
Yes.
You guys did it on an epic windy day.
Oh, that was super heavy.
Yeah, but I did it last fall. We had a really nice day, and I borrowed a gravel bike, and having the right bike for that ride it was so much fun. I was kind of hooked. I want to do some more gravel events.
No, gravel is a lot of fun. And it is out there with your buddies and stuff. It's like sometimes going down those gravel paths can be a sketch, man, because you just don't like the bike is just like all over the place. But my rule is, if somebody's in front of me, and I follow the line I see in front of me, because somebody else leave like a bike mark, wheel tire mark.
Yeah.
I just follow that one as best as possible. Like no deviation. Stay in this one, because if you go a little bit too left or right, you're gonna hit some hard gravel, and then that's not gonna be good.
Yeah.
So, and I've done the Turkey Burner, and I've done the Rafa 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And that was with Eric's bike, so that was before a gravel bike. But gravel bike is pretty cool. So you do have a tri bike still?
No.
It's all gone.
Yeah.
Wow. So
full disclosure, I have one, but it's just gathering dust.
So you still
I should sell it. I keep thinking, I might try it, but
does your wife know it's still there, or you yeah, tri bike has come a long way now. So if you're gonna sell it quick, because man, they're evolving these bikes so fast now.
Yeah.
I mean, the handlebars are changing. The way you position the bike is all different now.
Yeah.
What tire were you running on those? What's the maximum you can go to on your tri bike? Maybe like a 28? Will you own a 28?
Maybe a 25.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
it's a really old, Cervelo. Yeah.
So people are changing now. People are running like what 28, 30 now on tri bikes and all these different things.
Yeah.
So did you get caught up in the old transition from running 25s, 28s, or what are you running on your bike now?
I have 25s on my road bike.
Still?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, a friend of mine mistakenly bought like a case of tires, and he had all these extra ones, and he gave me a couple. So I'm a cheapskate. I'm not gonna buy 28s if I got 3 25s.
So you think? I mean, I was like this. Okay, I was riding on a tri bike. I was with like 19s on them.
Yeah,
like bumpy, right? And I sold those wheels and all different things. And then I was riding 23s and with 25, and then the whole discussion in Cortado group chat, right? All the gurus, and they're talking about like 28 and contact ratio and all these tire pressure and your weight and standard deviation X minus 10 to the 15 second, whatever. And you're like, okay, but I did try some 28s, and I'm telling you, it's a big difference. So if you think your Roubaix now is comfortable, try some 28s.
Yeah, I will.
when you finish 25s, you'd be like,
yeah. I just got to ride more and wear them out. So.
Exactly. I mean, I have some 28s here, but I'm actually trying to finish them out. And once I finish them out, I'm gonna switch them all to 25s. Once I finish, all 28s.
Yep. Yeah.
This bike right next to the Mad one, those are 32s.
Nice.
Amazing. So competitive, so nice. Every bike is 28 or 32. This one is 25 because it don't clear. It can't go above that.
Yeah. That's
it's a limitation. So
yeah, my older bikes are like that.
I'll keep running my 25s on this. But this is like for a special occasion. Maybe for Friday, I'll take this out.
Yeah.
Because I just rebuild it. Everything is like in spickety shape. So good stuff.
But other rides, I so after I did time trials for a while, started getting in, did some crits and some road races and
so
stuff.
You did crits?
Yeah.
With crits, did you like win some of those prize money?
The only time I ever won anything was it was like an open race, and they separated out like 50 plus. And I got second for 50, and first place got a jersey, and second place got a chocolate bar. So that's the only time I was in the money. I got a chocolate bar. They're sponsored by some local. It was a really nice one, but
could you sell a chocolate bar and get some money? Like, my God, yeah.
But
so what race was this? What race was this? You remember?
It was a lot of fun. It was in St. Charles. And it was real. The course was crazy because it was like straight down, right by the Fox River. So it was really hilly and it had a lot of sharp turns in it. When they were setting up the course, they were putting up like mattresses on trees at the intersection in case somebody. And I was like so nervous and got into it. And it's like, it was a lot of fun. So
wow.
But I was really glad I did crits because now when we're doing group races, I just feel comfortable with that background. And
yeah, I mean,
if you get in a big group and somebody's a little sketchy, you kind of know how to handle it. Or
yeah, I mean, again, I didn't even know you wrote crits. Like, I have no idea, no clue.
Yeah.
So now So now everything is coming out now. The everything is coming out of the bag. Okay, so now swimmer, pickup basketball player, did triathlons, did some crits, which I had no idea. Did some time trial. I mean, all these things kind of make sense why you're always so confident on the bike. Like when you're in a group ride and stuff, you're very confident. You might say, I didn't take a long pull, but I'm like, no, you're here. That's good enough. Because we're the one extra person in the group. It helped with the drafting and everything too. So now it makes sense. It's all coming together. So
you and me, we have the same philosophy. Don't get dropped. Whatever you're gonna do. I tell people I pull as long as I can.
That's my it's not the biggest fear, but I try my best to whatever group I'm in, I try to just make sure I am not gonna get dropped as best as possible. And if I'm in a group, I try to contribute to the polling and
nobody's gonna drop you now.
I don't know about that. You never know. Back in the days, Sam thought I would never pull, but I'm like, man, I just wasn't confident enough, and I just didn't know if I could keep up. So I would always like just take short pulls. And now I will pull for as long as you guys want me to pull. I don't mind. But again, it's a lot of work. It takes a lot of work to get there. And you have put in a lot of work from years of doing all these different sport and translating now everything into group rides. Yeah. So any plans for this year? You plan to do any big rides? Gonna go to Harbor Hilly or do some more gravel rides? Anything? Turkey Burner may be a good one.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to do some gravel rides. I need to get some more miles on the gravel bike, but everybody's riding road now. So
yeah, because gravel is like when it's cold, when it's warm, everybody's So right before it gets into winter, we start transitioning into gravel bike. So maybe by then I'll see if I can get another gravel bike. Cool thing is this bike right here, I think you can go up to even a 38, I think.
Yeah.
So I might just drop some gravel tire on this bike, and I'll test it out, and I'll have a gravel bike ready to go.
I got gravel wheels on my Roubaix. You could just borrow that.
Oh, that works too. Yeah. And I have some gravel wheels at my in-laws' house. I could just probably take and put on this bike and just use it, because the clearances on this is it's pretty big.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy.
Oh, and we got friends that got multiple gravel bikes.
Exactly. Just need to bring some beer, and then people like, of course, whatever you want. Yeah. So what do you do outside of biking? I mean, are you still in the workforce or what you did before?
Yeah, so I retired a couple of years ago. I mean, I told you about my heart attack in 2018, and then in 2022, as you know, I had more serious heart issue, and I had open heart surgery. So that really kind of threw me for a loop, and made me realize how short life is, and next year I retired. So
So now you can just do
yeah.
anything you
So now
want.
I got time. A lot of it's been you're dealing with some stuff with family right now. During COVID, I really got into making sourdough bread. So making bread.
Did you learn from because don't Drew and Paul make bread too?
Well, I got my starter from Drew. Yeah.
See, yeah.
Yeah, at the beginning of COVID, it was like I was looking to buy yeast, and everybody's baking bread. You couldn't buy yeast, so it's like, all right, I got to get some starter from somebody.
They thought you try to make some beer, maybe not bread. Yeah, but I think Mike Paul bakes too.
Oh yeah, Mike Paul. You said Paul. I was thinking
Paul.
First name Paul.
I never call him by his first. I also call him Paul.
Yeah. Michael. He's a big bread maker. So
yeah, so
he isn't cheering with me yet though. So I can't tell from personal experience.
Gotta nudge him. You guys gotta have a bread party. Go make bread and just eat stuff and okay. So you got into bread making during because of what happened during the pandemic, like a new hobby and stuff. Yeah. So, but what specifically did you do for work before you retired? Like what area were you in?
I managed an engineering group. So I was trained as a civil engineer, cross-trained as mechanical, and then became a manager. So
and then he brought a beast to the group. By the way, what's the name of the beast he brought to the group?
Yoon.
So he brought Yoon to the group, and that guy is a beast. And Yoon, I've been saying to come on the channel so we can sit and talk about all the stuff. But anyway, it's
gonna gotta get Yoon on.
You need to come, okay? We'll call it. But no, this guy is a savage, and he's young.
And he just started riding.
Just riding, but he's young. He's like, what, 34, 33, something like that. So he's have all the young blood in him. He can do all the amazing stuff. So Yoon.
Yoon moved here from Ohio, and so when he applied, we were like checking out each other on Strava.
Oh, and that's
our interviews were half of it was talking about that, talking about cycling.
You're like you're a cyclist. You're in. Awesome. No, but Yoon is a good guy.
Yeah.
So you've been biking for a long time. So what are some? I mean, you have been here long enough to see a lot of the culture in Chicago change cycling wise, and you've seen a lot of barriers broken, change. What do you think of this? I mean, what's your impression of the cycling scene in Chicago?
Well, I mean, I think commuting in Chicago has gotten a lot better. So, a lot more bike lanes, and I think road cyclists have maybe gotten friendlier. I think there used to be some kind of a little bit more, class thing.
Hierarchy.
Hierarchy. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, where like people that were racing, and I don't know. Maybe it's because a lot of us have gotten older, and one thing about doing crit races is when you first start off, you got to do Cat 5. You're not allowed to go to do the Masters races, and some of those Cat 5 races are sketchy, and you got guys that think they're going to be pro one day or something. Some 18, 19-year-olds, and they're just
sketch.
Yeah, but then you get into like 30 and above, 40 and above races, and the guys are just as strong, if not stronger, but they're, personality wise, they're chill. It's the races are so quiet, nobody's yelling.
People in the zone, right? Yeah.
Yeah. They're just and they're having fun.
Yeah. I mean, good point about it, because the social aspect, because again, I think Henry Lutz mentioned this about like when he came to Chicago, because he was in Colorado. Came to Chicago City is a very social aspect in Chicago cycling, but in Colorado, like people finish biking, they go home. Nobody hang out, nobody do anything, just go right home. Here, man, sometimes we don't want to leave coffee stop. We're like, okay, I gotta go.
Well, in the winter, it's all about the coffee.
Exactly. we literally go in people's garage outside and make coffee and hang out and stuff.
Yeah, during COVID, right? We didn't go inside.
Yeah. So this is one thing I think I definitely like about Chicago. I mean, I don't know other places, but for sure here, this good point about Chicago is a very social cycling scene.
Yeah. Well, and people like yourself, I think, promote, the more friendliness and openness.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't. I mean, 98% of the people I know that are cyclists don't make a living from cycling.
Right.
So we shouldn't have to be this very intense, structured, I am on a mission kind of this. There's something we can just talk and have a good time. I mean, there's some amazing racing groups in town, and those guys do their thing, but at least they're very social and that. So I really like that about Chicago.
Yeah.
But again, as Andrew said, like in maybe it's changing in Colorado, but back in the days in Colorado, nobody hung out.
Yeah. And we got guys on Cortado that are, on the podium in their age group.
Exactly. But still they're cool. Cool. They still hang out with us and they come and blow up the group every now and then, but we love it. But that's what keeps it going. I mean, Chicago got some really, really amazing group. And this is, again, for me, racing from back in the days as a runner, I just want to enjoy myself now. I'm too old for it. I just want to, any group you guys have out there, I just want to go hang out with people, meet some new people, have a good time, go down up south, north, whatever, east, west. That's the beautiful thing about Chicago. And we always, we were trying to, again, promote just good cycling community, attitude. Everybody's welcome. And this is something I like about Cortana too. And we all try to recruit new people. And we get added to the group me chat, and then all of a sudden we're like talking about like size of tires and all sorts of different things. And people get crazy. Yeah. But this is what keeps us together, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's a really good thing to be a part of Cortado in the other groups I'm in, just to be able to experience different people and cultures and conversations, whether it is based on politics or religion or whatever.
Yeah.
But this is what keeps us connected no matter what. So are you a big fan of indoor biking? Because I know when it gets colder, do you have a Zwift trainer and everything? How do you like that?
Yeah, I think I'm kind of in between. I mean, there are folks like yourself, in the one extreme that have totally embraced it, and then there's other people that cannot last.
Where are you on the spectrum?
I'm in the middle. Right?
What's the longest trip you've done on Zwift?
I did do 4 hours one.
Ooh, you're a convert then.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's too much. I think doing like an interval workout or something is really good for that. But and I did some of the Tour de Zwift things.
Those are fun.
Yeah,
right?
Those are fun. Yeah. It's kind of like a Grand Fondo, a little competitive. So yeah.
Yeah, I've done several of those. Several of those Zwift riding. I always, for Zwift, like the 15 and less milers, I just go on and I just give it everything I got. And I've actually won some of those and age group on some of those too. I mean, not age group, but like top 3. Yeah. I got a bunch of trophies, like second and a bunch of third place and Zwift, because I just can't beat those light guys. No way I can beat those guys. Those guys are just like next level. Yeah. But that's good that you embrace Zwift. And we've actually done group rides before too, right?
A couple times. Yeah,
group rides. So that
was fun.
Yeah, even when we're not together, we can still hang out and see each other. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So, man, we've come so far with cycling in Chicago, and again, remember, guys, Mr. Clarkin right here, Jeff, is in the network. If you see him out there, please don't be shy. And, just as I said before, just don't be a twat waffle, okay? That's one of the rules, okay? Just don't be a twat waffle. And Jeff definitely is one of the friendly faces around town, and, he let Chicago work. And we have amazing people like this in the network, and we have to keep on, again, nurture this kind of positive energy, environment, welcoming for everybody. And this is what, again, makes it great. So we're not finished as yet. But we're going to switch now to, so how are you following the professional racing now, like Tour de France? You have a favorite? Are you following the races now, the Gyro? What do you think about Tadej Pogacar?
I like the spring classics. They're fun, just more unpredictable. But man, Pogacar, He's just dominating everybody.
Yeah, little guy, but oh my god! And there's a guy I don't think I did feature before, but Christopher Lamb. I'm not gonna lie, he's a beast. He's an animal.
Yeah.
I featured him before, and I'm telling you, like literally every time I see him, I ride with him at a Wednesday night ride, and he does a pull, and you're like, man, a little bit, but he's just like he packs a punch, man.
Yeah,
Good stuff. And we need to get you out to some. I know you guys ride. You're retired now, so what you can do now is maybe skip Cortada morning ride. Option 1.
Mm-hmm.
Option 2, you can double. You can ride in the morning. You can ride in the evening. Monday night ride. It's a really good one.
Uh-huh.
It starts not too far from where I live, like about a mile and a half south of here at the Dunkin' Donuts of California on Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
Really nice ride. Get to meet a lot of people. Tuesday they have the touring ride. I want to try the touring ride. Wednesday night ride. Go check it out. But
I've done that before. That's nuts.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
It's like a race.
It is a race
during rush hour.
But I mean, I think the guys have gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
Now there's a 5:30 group, which is more. I think you probably could. But the 5:45, forget about it. It's literally a race.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm talking about all the guys from like the race teams go to the 5:45.
Yeah.
And they're trying to kill each other, like gas each other out. You're like,
yeah.
Are you kidding me? Fun ride. Thursday is Jollibee, mainly Filipino guys.
Mm-hmm.
So again, you can double, but try some evening rides.
Yeah, yeah. You know, and Eric's has a.
They're gonna start on maybe on the 20th or so, or about then, because the guy who's leading it, he's currently not in town. So when he gets back, so I'll be checking up on that. But Eric's is another good one too.
Yeah, I really thought I would stop doing the early morning rides after I retire, but it's so nice being out when there's no traffic and.
You go back and sleep.
Yeah. I got nap time. So.
Which is nothing wrong with that. Yeah. But no, there's some. I really, encourage. Again, I try to do some mornings and evenings. I've doubled several times too. Not yet because it's just too cold now. So no, I'm waiting for it to warm.
I doubled this weekend. I did Saturday and Sunday.
I'm gonna.
It was hard to get out of bed after yesterday's ride. That was fun.
Well, for me, one, it was too cold, and then last night was a Chicago Bears gala that we went to. And I might have had a little bit too much to eat, so I was like, I wasn't feeling well. Plus, it was just too cold. I'm like, nah, I'll skip it. So that was fun. And maybe one of these days, I've been telling Nicole that maybe I'm gonna try to maybe take one of my friends every year. If I'm stick around in the group long enough with Chicago Bears, I'm trying to have invite couples. So maybe you never know. I'll try to maybe in one of these years have you and Pam come out to join us. Last night it was one of my co-workers. I brought her out. So, and a couple years ago, I took a friend of mine because Nicole couldn't make it. So I brought a friend of mine from grad school who moved to Chicago. I'm like, hey, let's go together. So that was pretty awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. So, anything you want to leave us with that we didn't learn about you that what's your mantra for writing? I mean, what's your motivation?
Well, I mean, the things that we left out is you mentioned my wife Pam. We both love the mountains and hiking. That's the thing that we really love doing as a couple. The first like big hike we did was to the bottom of the Grand Canyon and out, and Pam had really never done much hiking. I kind of grew up doing that, and she was hooked. So she really loves that, and she has become, I have a hard time keeping up with her. So, yeah.
So you got some hiking trip plans this year, or?
Not specifically, but we'll definitely do that. Yeah, we used to go out to Colorado, a lot, ridden out there a lot. Love riding in Colorado.
Didn't know that. I went to Colorado and rode last year for a vacation. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But where I went is you ride in the road, and every time you make a left or right, it becomes gravel. Hard part gravel. I'm like, oh my God, I'm in the wrong place, right side of town. But we were not anywhere close to any of the big riding areas.
Yeah.
But we did going up to that peak, and oh my God. I took some pictures, but the pictures does no justice.
Yeah.
You just have to be able to experience it.
Yeah.
Colorado is just amazing.
Yeah, it's not only the climbing, but the altitude.
Yeah, because we were staying at I think 8,000 or so, 7.
Yeah.
Then we went up. Then we went up to like, I think like, is it 13 or 12 or something like that? So we went on the highest point where that is a big like a shopping center of some sort, and we drove up, and it's like a switchback to get there, right?
Yeah.
And we're driving like if I should go off this, and there's no bars or anything on the road. I'm like, if you should go down off the road, that's it, you're done.
Yeah.
So we're like, next time we go back, we're gonna have like we're not gonna have all of our kids in the same car. We're gonna split them up. Just in case something happened and lose half of the family. That was what we said.
So I've done a race out there. It used to be called the Bob Cook Memorial Hill Climb, kind of understated hill climb because it goes from about 7,000 feet in Idaho Springs and ends at the top of Mount Evans. It's 14,000 feet.
Jesus.
So it's 28 miles climbing the whole way. So
Jesus.
little nuts.
That's crazy.
But it's a fun and challenging event.
That sounds like something like that Steve Langer would be on.
Oh yeah.
That's his kind of deal. But yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you had the right gearing then though. You had the right gearing.
Yeah, it's not that steep, but it's
gradual.
Dealing with the
altitude and everything.
And the amount of climbing.
I had some headaches for the first day or so I was there, and then after that it kind of went away. But my God.
Yeah, if you do it, go out there and acclimate for a while.
And then come back, and then like for about a week or so I was killing it.
Oh yeah, you feel like Superman.
Look at this. Then after about they're like, yeah, it's gone. The kryptonite
that's why Steve kills us when he comes back here.
always beasting. Yeah. So what keeps you going on the bike? Like, is it because you love us so much or what?
It is. I mean, I like I said, I did sports, growing up, and I think the most fun I had as a kid was when I was a real little kid, like playing sandlot sports and everything, because you're with your buddies and everything, and I think now, being with a group and everything, I feel like a kid again, and it's just I don't know, when I hooked in with that, it's like I felt like I found my tribe. These are my people.
No, for sure, man.
And I don't know, just the way you guys supported me, when I was coming back from surgery and everything, and if you remember, you guys all showed up at my house.
In your backyard, I mean, this is something that's so special about Cortado, man. This is the one, the true thing that's just like you. I'm hooked.
Yeah.
No matter what, because I see how we interact in the group, and if something happened and you make a little buzz, like people are like on your doorstep, handing out like, what do you want? What do you need? It's like, so you can't beat that. And then you mentioned about it as a little kid, and now it's like we were saying in Jamaica growing up, once a man, twice a child. So you're a kid when you're a kid. You grow up, and as you get older again, you become a kid again.
Yeah.
In many aspects, but then you find that the kid side of you again with all the things that we do for cycling. And I think I'm at a stage already too, where it's just like, Nicole, when I go there, my bike and stuff, is hanging out and just goofing around. Like yesterday, we're just goofing around with each other, right? It's having a fun time. And
on our Zone 2 ride.
And our Zone 2 ride. That became Zone Chris.
Never believe it.
Never believe it. Yeah.
Once Chris was there.
Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. But that was fun. Yeah, that's I'm really enjoying having you as a friend, you guys from Cortado. And, we have a very nice, special bond, no matter what. Just say you need help, and people got you back.
Yeah. 2
seconds. People are at your doorstep knocking when they want to fix your bike or whatever.
Yeah.
Or hang out to some coffee. Go, we haven't had any fratties in a long time.
We were out last Friday.
But it didn't say fratties, because fratties is like, it was advertised as fratties though. I want to see fratties, and I'll show up. Put it there, say fratties, like, but we need to bring back, again, it was too cold. Once it warms up, I promise you will see me, because again, Nicole working schedule.
You missed it. It was nice. The sun was shining. It was.
Man, I think I was busy with something, and I saw, and I was like, even Mike June is gonna go, and I'm like, man, I think I was.
Mike was. Yeah, we saw Mike twice in one day. On Friday morning,
and we were supposed to go.
And he bought a new bike, so he's going to be riding. He's got to justify.
I saw him, and was it Monday? Yeah, Monday I was biking up on California, and I heard this behind the bike. Honk. I'm like, who's this? Honk. Who is this? It was Mike. And then I turned around and we were talking about this. I got a new bike. He's going to show up to Friday night, the ride the next day. I'm like, I don't know, man. It'll be a little tricky one. It's a little spicy. We say I want to show off his bike and everything, but I got up in the morning. It was just too cold. I'm like,
yeah,
Mike, I'm out. I'll bike in the evening when it's warm and nice. I can handle it. So.
Oh, that's right. You got to go out. So he drove up.
Right. He did say that. He said by the time I got to tower, it was over. Gotta put the miles in. But before we finish, remember to sign the book before you can sign it. These are all the people that come through, and I'm having a nice little sign-in book. Get to sign it, and
okay,
just keep it nice and fun.
I watched both of these.
Yeah,
amazing.
What about Kevin? Really? What about Kevin?
I
Carter?
didn't see that.
So he's from Misfit Cycling.
Yeah,
he's way down south with Major Taylor. I think he used to be the president
Major Taylor
for Major Taylor for quite some time, and then he started his own group now. So
people don't know who Major Taylor was. They got to read about him.
Exactly, like you.
Yeah,
I guarantee you. I won't even tell you.
Amazing.
I'm gonna say it now. As Jeff mentioned, Major Taylor. Just Google him and read his story. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Can't tell you about him. You have to experience it for yourself. So so. Guys,
in Chicago.
Yeah. So, and now again, everybody know we have a Pope from Chicago, so we have that. And as I heard, people say that Chicago have the Pope and Green Bay don't.
There you go. I like that.
That's the new thing now that people are saying.
You learned that last night.
Last night, it was actually last night at the gala. The priest said that, and when he preached, and he gave a prayer. And he said, I have to add this to, now we have the Pope from Chicago and Green Bay down. Then people just bust out laughing because it's a new thing, because it's very competitive. People know the history of the football.
So happy that we have a Pope, not only from Chicago, but a man who cares about the poor and promotes refugees and building bridges. And it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful news.
I'm looking forward to the next, at least 15 years at least.
Yeah.
He's 69, so you have some time.
He looks pretty healthy. So.
Yeah, he looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Looks pretty good. Yeah. So guys, we met Jeff. We talked to Jeff. We learned many things about Jeff. He's in the network. He's gonna sign the book. And again, as I said before, he's a nurturer that, like myself, we're in the Hall of Famer. Please, if you see him out there, guys, look for him. He's in his Cortado kit, or he's riding. What are the kit that what's one of your favorite kit that you like to ride in? Is it Cortado or some other kit?
Cortado. What else do I get? I got an orange one.
No, you have the one for the 5,000 feet of climbing or something like that.
Oh, that Mount Evans. Yeah.
Mount Evans.
Yeah.
So he has done that. Yeah. Done that. Yeah. So you haven't gone to Mallorca as yet? Because everybody go to Mallorca. You haven't gone as yet. You're retired now. You should go.
We were going to go to Mallorca for Pam's 60th. Was at the beginning of COVID, and that was like the epicenter. So
oh man.
So I owe her a trip there. Oh,
okay.
Now I got to record it.
Oh, you said it. Yeah. Pam, I'll remind you. You said it's on tape. Okay, so that's good. Yeah. But Mallorca, everybody go there. Jeff Linder go there, and Linder's go there. Denny's go there. Everybody. When I retire, or maybe when my kids are kind of older, I'll probably check out Mallorca, because everybody goes there. And I think Trek Travel, there's like a trip there too, and they do all this. Just pay the money and do everything for you. So I want to try it out one day. Let's see.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So guys, we met Jeff. We learned about Jeff. He's in the network. Don't be a stranger. And as I say, guys, until we meet again, one love.
Thanks for doing this.